Well, hello. How are you doing? Oh, so I I got extremely ticked off yesterday. So I'm at home. Hi, Riley. I'm at home and I'm about ready to finish up my taxes when I receive a phone call from the school, and I was told my middle kid was in trouble. Hey, Chris. So um, this is yesterday. They call me up and they bring me into the school. And she kind of explained the situation to me. And, well, the principal, I sent my son out into the office and I talked with the principal. And she said, well, we have a little situation. Apparently, your son was bullying. I was like, well, explain it to me. Tell me what happened. She goes, well, this other kid had said something and they were kind of giggling about it, your son and the other kid, and he told your son to pass it along. So he passed the message on, and then that person passed it on to another person. And I said, okay. And she goes, and we don't really tolerate that here. And I said, well, what did they say? Well, they told the girl she had a fat face. And I said, so you heard, or a teacher heard my son say the girl had a fat face? She goes, well, no, but another student heard it. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that my son's in trouble because of hearsay? She's like, well, you know, and then it really got derailed. So the principal then tells me that one of the kids was talking about knives. And they tried to say my son was talking about knives. And I was like, I had to keep my anger in check because I know my kid. And he wouldn't talk about hurting anyone with a knife. She goes, well, I finally got the truth out of the other kids. And your son didn't say it, but he was kind of giggling when the other kids said it. I said, the boy's got ADHD. He was probably giggling at something across the room. This focus isn't there when he wants to be out of a conversation. He just, whoop, there we go. He's on his Adderall, and it really ticked me off because the reason he was in trouble is because other kids felt threatened for something he didn't say. And I can't believe that the school would send him home. They said, well, he can come back tomorrow. And I said, well, first of all, we're not going to punish him for this. Second of all, I will allow him to do what you asked with writing an apology letter. But yeah, I'm not going to punish him over this because he didn't say it. And she just, as soon as I said that, the principal was like, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Because she didn't like the fact that I didn't agree with her. I don't feel a kid should get in trouble for something he didn't say. Now, he was threatened by the girl. He was threatened by the other boy that was talking about knives. And I was like, you're getting him in trouble. You're sending him home for two other individuals threatening him. One was threatening to kick him, and one was threatening to have him do something to himself with a knife. You know, this is not okay. And I made the other parents at the school aware of what happened. And when she handed me this little slip that says this is what he's in trouble for, please sign it, I said, I'm not signing this, and he's not in trouble for this. And I can't believe that the school would actually call me in to tell me that he's in trouble for somebody else saying something. That's the thing that really ticked me off. And that principal was awfully darn lucky that I was extremely calm that day. Well, now he shouldn't have passed the message along. We had a long discussion about that with him passing along a message. But he should have never gotten in trouble for that. Oh, what's it say? Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand where the girl was coming from, but when the boy was talking about knives, that was hugely unacceptable. And he only got one day off of school. And I was spitting nails over this, and I had to keep my calm because I didn't want to make the situation worse. But as soon as I told that principal he's not in trouble for this by us, I lost all of her attention. I had to come back later in the day to get my daughter, and she wouldn't even make eye contact with me. We had a long talk about who he needs to choose as a friend. And he goes, well, it's just a kid I sit with in class because I don't really have a choice. So my wife actually emailed the teacher and attached the principal to it and all this other stuff saying, hey, if you're going to assign seats, do not put these two next to each other. This kid, he's done a lot of stuff that we know about, and we don't like it. We got a nonchalant answer back from the teacher. Just say, well, when we assign seats, we'll definitely not do that. Okay, that's about all we can ask for, but it's just they have. So they kind of went back off of that zero tolerance policy where we're at. The kid actually made a pretty threatening thing, and they didn't really care. They said, oh, we'll kick him out for a day. But they said they don't want to suspend kids. Yeah, I was just so ticked off by this whole thing. I had so much other stuff going on, and it's just that thing set me over my edge. I got done editing that video on a Tuesday, got done posting that, was in the middle of doing taxes, and I get this phone call. I'm just like, at first, my first thought is, okay, he actually did something wrong because of the way she explained it over the phone. And I was like, man, that just seems really odd of him. But, you'd never know. And then she explained the whole story. And I was like, you're telling me this, not him. Now, if it would have been you saying something completely different and him saying something completely different, I'd have to find the middle between the two of them. But you told me the story, and he told me the exact same story later. Man. And it's elementary school. He's in just, it's the multi-age, so they have multiple age groups in the thing. It's like pre-middle school, pre-high school type thing. And they didn't really care about that whole situation. They didn't To me, it didn't seem like they cared about the girl. They didn't care about what the other boys said. All they didn't like was that they used the word fat face. So the boys used the word fat face. Totally wrong. I get that. But when one's talking about knives, that's not okay. Oh, I know it doesn't get any better. I, I can already predict that. I remember my days in high school and middle school. I was a jerk. I'll flat out admit that. I feel bad about it now, but you know, it's just something kids have to grow up. And that's the problem. But anyways, I just wanted to vent about this whole thing. That really ticked me off when they were doing that and how he got in trouble for somebody else doing something and she couldn't backtrack it. She wouldn't make eye contact with me today. And that principal she's on my short list right now. And I know that some of the aides there at the school were understanding of my side of it. Yeah. Well, when all they do nowadays is play Fortnite, that's all they see. Yeah. I know the aides were more understanding, but that principal really ticked me off. I still don't really know how to handle it. I don't really know, quite what to say to her without getting in trouble myself. So I've just kept my mouth shut, walking to that school nice and tall. She refuses to make eye contact. That's her problem. But, anyways, you all have a good night. May God bless you and your family. We'll see you next time. Take care.